Think about this phrase with me. Gifts are empty without love. Gifts are empty without love. When I think of, there's a passage that talks about in 1 Corinthians, it says, it's the love chapter. It says love is kind, it's patient, it's long-suffering, it forgives, it forgets. It's just a whole chapter of verses that talk about what does love look like. But the verse starts off, if you have gifts but you don't have love, you are like sounding brass. Can some of you relate to a boy who has a drum kit and just bangs away on it, makes big noises, big sounds? Love is so important when we're raising our children. You can have a very gifted child, but without love, you can have a very athletic child. But without this character of love, love is giving and expecting nothing in return. Now watch this. Does anybody have to teach your child how to share? Did anybody have to teach you, say, like, be honest, like, mine, okay? You see, we're not wired to be loving. Like, that's one of the biggest difference between Christian education is that we believe that we are broken and we need to learn how to love because it's difficult. Does that make sense? This gift doesn't matter unless it has what? Love. You with me? So your premise with your children always has to be like, we have a heart problem. They're selfish, and we have to change that somehow. Okay, we need them to think of others. We need to help others. We need to praise that. You with me? The goal is to get your children to do hard things with joy and thanksgiving. That's the goal, isn't it? We teach values so they believe in their heart what is the right thing to do, so they change actions, which is virtue, so that they will do valorous things. Our goal is to get our kids to do hard things like share with joy and thanksgiving. I believe that the way God designed this is to have a family and to have a hope for the future. So community is so important for kids to learn how to do hard things. There's a passage that I've been studying in Colossians that has just really helped me so much in Colossians 1, 9 through 14. And at the very end it says that we can endure patiently with joy and thanksgiving, giving thanks to the Father. And it goes on. Think about this. At Veterans Day, I said the same thing. Veterans can do hard things with joy and thanksgiving because of family, right? They go to war, they do hard things because they're doing this for their family. They're doing it for the future, right? Similar, as Christians, we have what? We have family. We have community. And this community is so important to get us through those days where you feel like you've got a boulder burden that's so heavy, and God says, He says, bear one another's burdens. This boulder burden is not designed for you to carry on your own with a smile on your face sometimes. It says, bear one another's burdens. And parenting is very difficult. You need family. You need friends so that you can come alongside each other and do what? Bear one another's burdens. In this preschool, there's a mom. She's actually sitting in the front row, and her husband spoke at chapel last week, and he's in Houston this week, trying to get St. Jude's to help provide resources for another 1 million children to be healed from cancer. Children healed from cancer. And he shared this really interesting story about a girl named Kathy. Kathy spent 14 years on her belly. These surgeons at Texas University, when they healed her, this was the first time in her life that she was able to ever see the front of her body. And my point is that she has this joyful spirit. And she has this joyful spirit. Have you ever met someone that's got this joy in their heart? And they're doing really, really hard things? That's our goal. And the secret sauce to this is that God has fixed our broken hearts that want to say mine. And when God does that, it doesn't matter what happens in our world. We're ultimately grateful for what? The family of God and a bright hope for the future. That's what Christmas is actually all about, is that Jesus is going to heal people's hearts in something that nobody else can do. You with me? Nobody else can do this thing, what Jesus came to do. Christmas is about God sending Jesus, and this is going to be the greatest expression of God's character. And he selflessly gave his life, right, to love us and to have our sins forgiven. And that's what Christmas is about. So I hope that you can learn how to do hard things with joy and thanksgiving. But you can't do it on your own. You have to do it with a heart that's been transformed because God has saved me and helped me, and I've got family and friends and a bright future. And you just have to keep going there. You have to keep going there. Amen?